France. France comes in first place of world tourism ranking, attracts 81 million foreign visitors every year. The cities like Paris, Toulouse, Lyon, Bordeaux and many others have high cultural interest, have 37 World Heritage Sites in total. France is also known for its pleasant climate, magnificent beaches, castles, historical museums, remarkable gardens and parks. Watch the sunset from the Eiffel Tower. To discover Paris at its most enchanting, tourists should visit the Eiffel Tower at sunset. In the early evening, the gentle lighting has an ethereal effect. At this special time of day, golden glows on the horizon lend a romantic quality to the vistas. From each level of the tower, the panoramas become even more spectacular as the sun goes down, with the city's monuments illuminated and the Seine River reflecting the stunning colors of sunset. Another bonus, every evening the Eiffel Tower is decked out with glittering lights that sparkle for 5 minutes on the hour. Take a Seine River cruise. Cruising the Seine River is a delightful way to see all of Paris' top sights while enjoying a relaxing experience. The Compagnie des Bateaux Mouches offers scenic boat tours, sailing past the Place de la Concorde, the Louvre, the Musée d'Orsay, the Notre Dame Cathedral, and other landmarks along the way. Tourists can choose from a variety of Bateaux Mouches experiences, including daytime boat tours, brunch or lunch cruises, romantic dinner cruises, and cabaret shows. At night, the monuments along the Seine are illuminated, creating a truly captivating impression. Stroll through the charming old quarters of Paris. The Quartier Latin, the Ile Saint-Louis, and Le Marais are charming neighborhoods, where visitors can soak up the ambience of medieval Paris. Begin exploring on the left bank in the Latin Quarter, the city's university quarter since the Middle Ages. After discovering the eclectic shops and bookstores of this lively neighborhood, cross the Seine River at the Petit Pont Bridge and head to the Ile de la Cité to admire the facade of the Notre Dame Cathedral. Make a pilgrimage to Montana Saint-Michel. Soaring above its perch on a rocky island off the Normandy coastline, the Abbaye du Montana Saint-Michel appears as if a vision from heaven. Montana Saint-Michel is known as the Pyramid of the Seas thanks to its awe-inspiring and otherworldly splendor. The island's glorious Gothic abbey has been a stop along the way of St. James' pilgrimage to Santiago de Compostela since the 11th century. St. Michael's Day at the end of September draws many pilgrims to Montana Saint-Michel. This occasion celebrating the Archangel Michael includes several religious ceremonies at the Abbey Church. Attend the Royal Serenade at the Château de Versailles. A soirée at the Château de Versailles offers a glimpse into the bygone world of French royalty and their lavish court. Every Saturday evening from mid-June until mid-September, visitors may attend the Royal Serenade, a dazzling event held in the Château's grand apartments and in the opulent Hall of Mirrors. After sundown on Saturday evenings in summer, the garden's groves are illuminated by torches and candles for the night fountain shows, which feature music and fireworks. Learn to cook classic French cuisine in Burgundy. The cornerstone of Gallic culture, the French gastronomic meal has been inscribed on the UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage List. Each area of France has its own distinctive culinary style, but the Burgundy region boasts some of France's most famous regional dishes: cheese puffs, chicken stew, and beef Burgundy. The 5-day culinary program organized by Robert Ash at Rue du Lac includes hands-on classes, visits to local markets, and free time to enjoy the property's garden, sun terrace, and swimming pool. Along with the cooking classes, accommodations are provided at a handsome converted farmhouse in the Beaujolais area of Burgundy. Bike around Bordeaux. The Bordeaux region boasts some of the most attractive scenery in France: vine-covered rolling hills, grandiose castles, and quaint historic villages. Cyclists may plan their own self-guided route or use a tour company to choose a cycling itinerary. A favorite cycling route from Bordeaux is the Roger Lapeby bike path in the Interderma region, an area appreciated for its lush natural landscape. Part of this route runs along the tranquil tree-lined Canal de Dermers. Another popular bike route is the 50-kilometer ride from Bordeaux to Saint-Emilion, a picturesque medieval village that is designated on the UNESCO World Heritage List. Experience a candlelit evening at Château Vaux-le-Vicomte. Tourists can spend a magical summer evening at the Château de Vaux-le-Vicomte, less than an hour away from Paris by train and shuttle. This listed historic monument is a masterpiece of 17th century architecture created by Louis Lavaux for Nicolas Fouquet, Superintendent of Finance to Louis XIV. Two fine dining restaurants, Les Charmilles and Jean de La Fontaine's Table, allow guests to take in the dreamy scene while enjoying a gourmet meal. Candlelit evenings begin at 7 p.m. and conclude at midnight. Fireworks take place at 11 p.m. Spain. A vacation in Spain can easily be spent taking part in the country's quintessential activities, eating paella, sipping espresso at a cafe along a tree-lined street, or drinking cider and eating tapas until late in the night. But beyond the cathedrals, shopping, and flamenco, Spain is a modern country that also offers world-class art museums, some of the world's best gastronomic cuisine, and bustling nightlife. See a flamenco show. Flamenco is virtually unique in present-day music. It's a traditional form of folk music that is still as alive today as it has ever been. Flamenco can be heard backed by a full orchestra in the gardens of the Alcazar in Seville, played by a pair of drunken gypsies in a seedy tavern or blaring from the stereo of a youth's turbocharged sports car. The best flamenco can be found at a gypsy wedding, a spontaneous bar sing-along, or in one of Spain's prisons. These are hard to come by, so you'll need to go and see a show. The best ones are in Seville or Madrid. Eat free tapas. Going for tapas is an essential part of life in Spain. It isn't so much what you eat but how, that is, a morsel food with every drink, and each one in a different bar. Lots of bars, lots of drinks, lots of great food. They say you don't get anything for free in this life. In much of Spain this is indeed the case, but in Granada your tapas come free with your drink. See the architecture of Antoni Gaudí. Antoni Gaudi's architecture is famous, daring and unique, but not everyone likes it. Of course, landmarks like La Sagrada Familia and Parc Güell are still must-sees for many. Other Barcelona must-sees, Gaudí's Casa Mila, Casa Carvet, and Colegio Teresiano de Barcelona. Watch a bullfight. Animal rights activists in Spain will be up in arms about bullfighting's inclusion in this list, while many Spaniards will groan. Bullfighting is no longer anywhere near as popular as it once was. However, bullfighting is an inescapable part of Spain's history and remains an anachronistic curiosity. You have to see it for yourself to decide. Choose carefully which city you go to see your bullfighting in, since just because a city has a bullring, doesn't mean the city has a tradition of bullfighting. Bullfighting is originally from Ronda, but Seville is its spiritual home while Madrid has the most supporters today. Eat gourmet cuisine in San Sebastian. San Sebastian, in Spain's Basque Country, is fast emerging as the foodie destination in not only Spain but the whole of Europe. So, what can you expect of San Sebastian food? Pinkstos, for one, the local name for tapas, as well as Michelin-starred restaurants, and steak and cider. Basque cider is the less-known sister of Asturian cider. Experience it at a Basque cider house, along with some excellent steak. Visit the Alhambra. In the hills of Granada is the Alhambra Moorish fortress, which protected the city's inhabitants from invasion by the Christians for hundreds of years. It certainly worked. Granada was the last city to fall during the Reconquista, the Spanish leg of the Crusades. You can imagine what to expect at the Alhambra with this simple equation: take the most beautiful gardens in the world, add a beautiful fortress and multiple by 10. Most people get around the Alhambra in under 4 hours, but many have been known to stay longer. Avoid busy times of year as tickets are in short supply. Visit Madrid's 3 essential art museums. Spain produced 2 of the most important artists of the past 100 years, Pablo Picasso and Salvador Dali. Fine work by both artists in the Centro de Arte Reina Sofia, one of Madrid's 3 essential museums. But many would say that these 2 artists are not the best that Spain has to offer, and even more would say that the Reina Sofia is not the best museum in Madrid. Instead, that accolade goes to the Museo del Prado, which houses excellent art from the 14th to the 19th centuries from the likes of Velázquez, Goya and El Greco. The Museo de San Borja completes the triumvirate of essential Madrid museums. Eat paella in Valencia. It's another cliché, but when in Spain, you have to try the paella. Unfortunately, unscrupulous Spanish restaurants know this and often serve paella which is frankly unpalatable. For this reason, you have to choose your restaurant carefully. Remember that there are several paella varieties. Bypass the seafood version and go for paella of Valenciana. Made from meat instead of seafood, this is the original paella and so is the most authentic. Visit the city of Seville. Seville is a treat, providing you can avoid the sweltering heat in August. Seville at its best is truly captivating, including its cathedral with its Giralda Tower, the neighboring Alcázar Castle and Garden Complex, and the Plaza de España. Take a trip along the Camino de Santiago. The Camino de Santiago is an ancient pilgrimage to the tomb of Saint James in Santiago de Compostela. For most people this involves walking up to 800 km across northern Spain, though you can start from anywhere you like. For those who embark on the most popular route, the Camino Frances, this involves a walk through the Pyrenees, through Pamplona and the wine country of La Rioja, before a long stint walking across the Spanish Meseta. After reaching Leon, a city renowned for its tapas, you cross into the wonderful green countryside of Galicia, be a part of La Tomatina. If the Spanish are known internationally as party people, then in Spain it is the residents of Bnol, near Valencia, who are best known for throwing a more unusual sort of fiesta. It's essentially a giant food fight involving La Tomatina, the tomato. Beginning the evening before with a paella fest, the following morning sees crowds take to the streets, tomatoes in hand. This is certainly a side of Spanish tourism not intended for those wishing for a sedate and peaceful time. But if throwing tomatoes at strangers is your thing, then this is the festival for you. Also, don't forget an old set of clothes. United States. The US is home to some of the most spectacular scenery in the world and some of the most recognizable icons on the planet. Many of the top attractions in the United States are bucket list destinations, drawing visitors from around the world. Compiling a list of places to see is step 1. But keep in mind, given the size of the United States, most people plan their trips to a specific region, be it the East Coast, the Southwest, the beaches of Florida or California, or outlying regions like Hawaii and Alaska. Empire State Building, climb 102 floors. One of the most iconic things to do in the United States of America would be to visit the Empire State Building and channelize your inner athlete as you climb 102 floors of stairs. Even though it will be tiring, it will totally be worth the effort as you can catch a glimpse of the entire city of New York from there. And if you don't feel like climbing on your visit, take the elevator that will show the view of the entire city with each passing floor. White House, take a guided tour. This place has a very important role to play in making America what it is. All important political decisions are made in this place and you can take a guided tour here and know about the history of America. It is the official residence of the President of the States and you can take a look around at specific hours. Golden Gate Bridge, catch a glimpse of the sunset. One of the most iconic US landmarks and a constant backdrop in a lot of Hollywood films, the Golden Gate Bridge is a great place and visiting here is one of the top things to do in the USA for couples. Why couples specifically, you ask? Because if you are crossing it during sunrise/sunset, you'll witness unforgettable views from here with your loved one and feel romantic vibes all around the place. Niagara Falls, go for a picnic. The gorgeous Niagara waterfalls located right between the USA and Canada are a sight to behold. The speed at which they flow and the mammoth size of the falls often intimidate people and fill them with a rush of adrenaline. You can get on a cruise to go near the falls and witness their glory, up close and personal. Yosemite National Park, explore the wildlife. A park full of incredible natural wonders, Yosemite is chock full of tourists for the most part of the year. If you're looking for things to do in the USA with kids, this should be high up on the list. This is a holistic spot with wilderness, splendid views of the Sierra Nevada mountains, and the Yosemite Village with restaurants and shops. Grand Canyon, behold the beauty. This marvel in the United States stretches 277 miles and gives a breathtaking view to all. Watching a sunset or sunrise from this place can be one of the most interesting things to do in USA with friends, as all of you delve into the beauty of the place and lose your inhibitions. Football, watch an exciting game. While you will find great football clubs across America, no place will be better than Dallas to catch the game. The AT&T Stadium has a capacity to fill up to 85,000 people and has 2 jumbo screens so that no one misses the game. While it is ideal to visit it during the game, if that's not on the calendar during your dates, just tour the stadium. It's worth the effort. Walt Disney World, relive your childhood. One of the best things to do in USA with family and kids is to take a tour around Disney World, which is a wonderland that is equally enthralling for kids and adults. There are many exciting theme parks and water parks here that will surely take you on a ride of fun and you will return pumped up and enthralled. Mount Rushmore National Memorial, witness glory and pride. You have to see how beautifully George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln, and Theodore Roosevelt's faces are carved on this cliffside. It witnesses 3 million tourists per year because of the museum with interactive exhibits. Pizza, taste happiness. A quintessential US dish. Your trip is incomplete without trying a deep dish pizza. The best ones are found in Chicago. The pizzas are delicious and unique to the USA and you must try them on your trip. Some of the best restaurants include Pizzeria Uno, Tano's Pizza, and Nino's Pizza among others. China. Ever since the world first discovered China through the writings of adventurer Marco Polo more than 700 years ago, this large Asian country has come to be regarded as the embodiment of all that is mysterious and exotic. Even now, after decades of economic growth, this vast country has lost none of its fascination. Indeed, the contrast between China's ancient customs and the new ultra-modern state that is developing has only increased the fascination with a culture that dates back many millennia. Climb the Great Wall. The Great Wall is China at its most iconic. Most people choose to see the famous site in Beijing, but there are renovated sections of the wall all throughout northern China. For a strenuous hike with 1,000 of your closest friends, opt for Beijing's Mushinyu section. See where the Great Wall meets the sea in Henan province, or get a unique view of the Gobi Desert from the western end of the wall in Gansu province. See the pandas in Chengdu. No trip to China is complete without seeing the pandas at the Chengdu research base of giant panda breeding. The research base, which is like an animal sanctuary dedicated to only one animal, is easily the biggest contributing factor to giant pandas no longer being an endangered species. In addition to its research and preservation efforts, the center also offers up-close looks at giant pandas, and red pandas as well. Take a bamboo cruise down the Li River. The caustic landscape of the southern Chinese city of Guilin will make you feel like you're in another world, one created from the illustrations of a Dr. Seuss story, perhaps. And through those casts run 2 rivers, the Li and the Yulong. Both rivers offer bamboo cruises, so you can see the place that inspired the picture on the RMB 20 bill. Don't be surprised if you also see a pet water buffalo on the way, or perhaps a few cormorant fishers who want to snap a photo with you for money. Hike the floating mountains. Are you an Avatar fan? Well, a hike to the Zhangjiajie National Forest Park will then be a familiar trail for you. These mountains were the inspiration behind the floating mountains in Avatar. One of the most awesome things to do in China is to go hiking at this stunning park where the clouds accompany you, making the experience more lively. Take the famous Beilong elevator, that is a 1070 feet high glass elevator built on the cliff for making travel easier. Experience the best of kite flying. While exploring the city of Beijing, one must visit the Temple of Heaven for a quick history lesson about the Ming and Qing dynasty emperors. You can observe the locals practicing Tai Chi early in the mornings, young men and women playing Xiang Kai, and many experts flying kites in an open area. Refreshing as it sounds, this is definitely a must experience on your list of things to do in China. The Summer Palace, Beijing. An easy 15-kilometer commute from Beijing, the sumptuous Imperial Summer Palace is set amid more than 700 acres of beautiful parkland and is one of China's most visited attractions. While the palace itself was built in 1153, its large lake was added in the 14th century to enhance the imperial gardens. Other highlights include the Hall of Happiness and Longevity with its lovely gardens and courtyards, as well as many miles of picturesque pathways and walking trails. The classical gardens of Suzhou, Jiangsu. Considered one of the world's most important historic gardens, hence their designation as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the classical gardens of Suzhou should rank highly on your China travel itinerary. Located in the historic city of Suzhou in Jiangsu province, these magnificent gardens were established in the 11th century, at a time when the city was experiencing unprecedented growth, and were among some 270 or more gardens planted here. The Potala Palace, Tibet. Another of China's most recognizable historic structures is the magnificent Potala Palace in the town of Lhasa, Tibet. Constructed as a fortress and residence for the Dalai Lama, it was for centuries a center of political and religious power and contains many of the religion's most important treasures. The first of the two Potala palaces, the Red Palace, was built in the 17th century and contains the complex's most important shrines. Taste the xiaolongbao in Shanghai. A trip to Shanghai is undoubtedly incomplete without relishing the traditional dish of xiaolongbao that is a must to be included in your itinerary. One of the best things to do in Shanghai, China is getting a taste of the delicious street food, of which the famous soup dumplings of Shanghai are worth every penny you spend. Traditionally made of pork and cooked in small bamboo steamers, these local treats are a must-try. Ancient art in Mogao grottos. If you are interested in art and history, then here are some of the fun things to do in China. Become an explorer and archaeologist for a day as you visit the Mogao grottos. These are about 700 caves filled with ancient Buddhist artwork, all of which are not open on the same day. However, you can get some inspiration to make your own piece too. Italy. From hiking in the mountainous region of the Dolomites to cruising around the sun-soaked coastline of Capri Island, to wine tasting in the rolling vineyards of the Tuscan countryside, there are endless things to do in Italy. Italy attractions range from ancient monuments at the ruins of Pompeii to popular swimming spots in the Lake District region, so whether you're looking to soak up the local culture, history, or sunshine, there are plenty of things to see in Italy. Ski the Dolomites. Whether it's a day on the sunny beginner slopes of Cortina d'Ampezzo, Araba, Marmolada, or Alto Badia, or a full day tour covering 35 kilometers of challenging trails, every ski enthusiast should experience the Dolomites. 12 different Italian ski resorts are scattered among these mountains along Italy's Austrian border, where more than a dozen peaks reach above 3,048 meters. Together they add up to more than 1,200 kilometers of ski trails. Many of the areas are connected by trails and lifts, and a single Dolomiti Super Ski Pass allows access to lifts and trails at all 12. Sip wine in Tuscany. There are a lot of things to do in Italy, but one of the most enjoyable pastimes is eating local Italian pasto and drinking red wine under the setting sun. Luckily, a trip to rural vineyard provides the opportunity to indulge in such a thing. Head to the wineries in the Tuscan countryside and learn about the process of making wine before sampling some of Tuscany's very best bottles. Best time to visit, April to September. Admire Gothic architecture at Milan Cathedral. Milan Cathedral, known locally as the Duomo di Milano, is a spectacular Gothic cathedral located in the heart of Milan. As one of the city's most iconic attractions, a visit here is an absolute must to admire the building's pure grandeur and incredible architecture. Get ready to be blown away by a structure that took 6 centuries to complete. Best time to visit, September to October. Step back in time at the Colosseum. No trip to Rome should go without a visit to the Colosseum, a grand oval amphitheater that dates right back to 70 AD. Once used as a stage for theatrical performances, the Colosseum is now somewhat of an open-air museum, and a visit allows the chance to brush up on Roman history and to admire the ancient architecture. Best time to visit, November to February. Enjoy the art at the Uffizi Gallery. Anyone heading to Florence shouldn't miss the chance to visit one of arguably the most famous galleries in the world. This museum is stuffed full of the works of Italian greats such as Leonardo da Vinci, Raphael, Michelangelo, and Caravaggio, which are all displayed in one of the prettiest buildings in Italy, the Palazzo degli Uffizi. The palazzo looks over the mighty Arno River and is a must-visit for any art lovers. Take a trip to Pompeii. Pompeii is famous for the events that took place here in 79 AD, when Mount Vesuvius erupted and covered the town in ash. The eruption meant that Roman life was captured and frozen in time, and when the site was excavated it offered a glimpse of a bygone era. If you visit Pompeii today, you can expect a kind of open-air museum where you will find preserved houses, baths, and ancient Roman forums, all filled with the relics of the people who were living here when the eruption took place. Go on a pilgrimage to the Vatican. Vatican City is actually its own state within Italy, although you can only visit this landlocked area by first traveling to Rome. If you are in the region, then you should definitely consider swinging by one of the most important religious spots in the world, which is home to powerhouses such as the Piazza San Pietro and St. Peter's Basilica. You can also take in the majesty of the Vatican Palace as well as the Sistine Chapel, which features the creation of Adam. Discover the Roman Forum. The Roman Forum is another one of Italy's big-hitter attractions and lies between the Capitoline and the Palatine Hills in Rome. This would once have been the center of the mighty Roman Empire, and you can take in the beautiful complex here as well as enjoy views from the terraces all over the wider city. Climb Stromboli. On a visit to Sicily, you absolutely can't miss the chance to climb at least partway up Stromboli, a still active volcano. If you are looking for an easy trek, then you can walk 400 meters up the sides of Stromboli by yourself, although if you want to continue onto the crater which still billows clouds of ash and fire, then you will need a certified guide to take you. To get to the top takes around 3 hours, with the descent coming in at around 2 hours, so all in all you need to allow a 5 to 6 hour trek in order to see everything. Float the Venice canals on a gondola ride. Venice is made up of over 100 small islands in the Adriatic Sea, and the best way to get around the lagoon is by gondola. This traditional Venetian mode of transport offers an authentic look at Venice from the water as you glide down the Grand Canal and veer off into secret side canals to charming islands. Riding a gondola is one of the top things to do in Italy, so hop ashore, and you'll get to witness local artisans at work making glass, pottery, and other Venetian delights. Best time to visit, May to July. Tilt your head at the Leaning Tower of Pisa. The freestanding bell tower of Pisa, known globally as the Leaning Tower of Pisa, is an iconic Italian landmark that shouldn't be missed. With medieval architecture, a Romanesque style, and a design so funky it'll have you tilting your head, the Tua Pendente, which took over 200 years to build, lives up to its name. Best time to visit, April to June and September to October. Explore a sea cave at the Blue Grotto, Capri. The Blue Grotto is Capri Island's most popular tourist attraction, and it's understandable why. This natural geographical formation is buried deep into the cliffs of Capri and is dappled with sunlight throughout the day. Tours into the cave take place regularly and provide the opportunity to view one of Italy's natural wonders up close and personal. Get ready to marvel at the crystal blue waters of the Mediterranean Sea. Best time to visit, May to October.